Good morning, good morning. Today we're coming at you with four different charts and looks like some TradingView ads right off the bat, but we like it free. Thanks for dropping by, folks. Make sure to hit the subscribe, drop the like, let me know what do you think about these, what do you think about this analysis, and we're going to go right into updating some charts on this April morning. Big one I've been looking at recently, update from March 20th chart where I was looking at BitTorrent token, considering, hey, we might have flipped this long-standing resistance into support, which would see the potential for some massive explosive growth against Bitcoin, which is something that we had been looking for a long time, and sort of been depressedly accumulating this coin. So go ahead and load in the recent history here. Remember, we are looking at the weekly chart, so if you're thinking in days, there's a lot more candles there. But we saw a huge spike in BitTorrent token that uh, I'm sure returned massive gains for a ton of folks, considering how many of these tokens are out there. I'm really not up to date on where this project is with the BitTorrent itself. If you have any good links to that, drop them below and let me know because I would love to get updated on that. But continuing off the chart, I think I'm probably cooling off on this one. I'm happy enough to have this hit the target point and finally make some money on BitTorrent token. Uh, that said, I won't ditch I wouldn't ditch the token entirely. Um, but sometimes you complete the trade that you want and that's it. And that's kind of what I got when I'm looking at this. And it's part of why I would love to hear more about the long-term plans for the token. But yeah, I don't know. This one really did seem like it was going to zero, so I wouldn't be surprised to see it go back down. I might consider accumulating again should it go back down. But it's in a weird spot. And the more that I say that, I might even just accumulate a little bit more right now. Um, I'm watching over the couple days. My brain is sitting here thinking about and watching Doge and some of the lessons I've learned from the amounts of Doge that I've had over the past couple of years and what it would be worth today. But that's all right. I hope folks made a killing on Doge, and there's killings out there to be made in the rest of crypto, as are massive losses. So nice little segue into the reminder. Folks, this is not financial advice. I'm not a licensed financial advisor, nor am I your financial advisor. I exist to provide financial education and financial entertainment for YouTube. We like the charts, we like calling out strategies, we like coming back and reviewing the strategies and seeing what has happened and what we can learn from being wrong. I mean, if you want to see me be wrong, go check out the Tezos video that I posted the other day. Completely invalidated my strategy. I was hoping to accumulate at a slightly lower range before getting into the rise, and just it took off after months of being wrong about Tezos. Surprise, I was wrong again, and that's just the way it happens sometimes. And, we call balls and strikes. So here we are, BTT, pretty happy to see this movement. And, going forward, and this is where, we really aren't sure because there's two cases here really in my mind. I mean, of course, there's the stagnant case, but I think, long term, oh, so fancy. We're either going to go up or we're going to go down. And there's no telling if it goes up, how up it may go. Because even this, I mean, folks, like the thing about BTT is that if you haven't been in crypto long enough to watch some of the things that happened with coins where it seemed like it wouldn't happen. Um, it's so cheap. 13 satoshis. I mean, you're gonna risk a lot of Bitcoin if this stuff goes down, and probably it's for folks who are okay with that. Um, but a long hold bag, I don't know. I don't know. Again, question for the comments. What do you think? Are you long holding BTT or are you getting out? Because I mean, you can see even from this view what we've got. A good old 2 years of just sadness. 2 years of sadness. I think the people that hold through 2 years of sadness are either accumulating happily or have just given up on the bag. So, seriously, let me know what you think. What's going to happen with BTT? Is this wild? I mean, it looks wild. I mean, less wild than this, which is if you're buying at one Satoshi, you get a 25,000% return. This is the office joke, because if anyone offers you 10,000 to 1 odds, you take those odds, and shame on everyone that didn't buy or try to buy BTT at one Satoshi. All right, moving on. Next chart. Important stuff here. We're taking a look at my Bitcoin dominance chart, which is very strangely drawn without green, but that's okay. I was expecting and hoping we would finally see big push down on Bitcoin dominance. And hold the phone right there. Bitcoin dominance, for folks who don't know, is the market. This is a market share calculation of Bitcoin to altcoins. You can look at Ethereum dominance and other things like that, and it's less helpful, but generally what Bitcoin dominance shows is the market trends for whether altcoins or Bitcoins are gaining value quicker. And it's March 22nd, so a couple weeks ago I was looking at this thinking, hey, it seems like Bitcoin's made a lot of wild moves recently, and we've gained a lot of value, and that's been great. But I'm expecting that value to flow off out of Bitcoin and into some of these really strong altcoins. And I think we've seen that over the past couple weeks even more than we had already seen it. And it's wild to make that call at the time because we'd already seen such a great bullish move for altcoins, but then, nothing seemed like it was calming down. And I remember looking at all of these charts and thinking, this looks too good, this looks too good. It all just looks so good. And sometimes it lines up. I mean, outside of Tezos, the last month of calls were, really good, and I'm frankly expecting to be very wrong this month, or who knows. But looking at Bitcoin dominance, let's update the chart here, and we do get the downward push that we were looking for, right to this 53% resistance. And this corresponds. It's why charts are right together or wrong together. This underlies all of the other strategies that we had been trading on outside of Tezos, which we were just pessimistic on. This move down is what popped the alts. It's what's popping the alts right now. I'm going to expect that we retrace up a little bit. I think we might retrace the 58 mark as Bitcoin moves to around the 75,000 mark, which is where I'm expecting the top for this current bull market. I mean, it can't keep going. That's the only thing that I'm going to say is that, I've seen the buying volume recently, and the buying volume seems to indicate, yes, there are buyers, but there are a lot of sellers who have yet to capitulate, and I say capitulate on the sense that how to phrase this is the uh, portrayal of Bitcoin maximalism is at a certain point. At a certain point, folks want dollars, and they at least want to move the money into dollars, and the liquidity from dollars to other things means that this run has to cool off at some point because so many people have made so much money. There's going to be a point at which they're going to pull all this out. I think that point's going to happen in the 70 to 80,000 range. You consider the folks who bought one to three bitcoins, who might be driving, who are strong drivers of retail volume at the moment. I know some of these folks who, they switched up some of their assets and they said, I got to own a Bitcoin. I got to own a couple Bitcoin. Like, there's a lot of those folks out there. And, I think the wave of capitulation is going to come from the retail folks first. And from there, it's going to come from calculated sell-offs by organizations who can't risk what they put in, or at least who have gained too much to continue to risk it. You think of the institutional players that got in from 35 to 55,000, who have seen 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 gain per coin. I mean, you consider what Tesla might be doing right now, or somebody's probably done the math and can tell me in the comments below. But you consider where that is. Yeah, I mean, I think there's a point at which stop losses are going to kick in, and folks are going to revert a lot of the value to dollars, and we're going to see some downward momentum for a couple months, and that's perfectly healthy, and it is what it is, and so I think I'm expecting. I like this new range. I thought we were always overinflated when we're up this high. Frankly, Bitcoin is digital gold. It's not an asset that should be the thing that folks need to understand is Bitcoin could be below 40% dominance and still be digital gold. It's signaling a shift in the use case for specific altcoins that are exploding in value. I think if you looked at, yes, you would see the wider market, but you would also see Ethereum here, which has struggled in dominance for a long time. The BTT BTC chart, actually, let's go check this out, because I've got a short little theory here that might look interesting. Let's see. Let's compare with Ethereum Dominance. Yeah, a little interesting. So obviously, a little more long-term bias to nothing. Yeah, so positively correlated with Ethereum dominance, and that's probably just generally correlated with alt dominance. But you can see here that this drop in Bitcoin dominance, massive spike in Ethereum dominance, followed by spike in, dare I say, like shitcoins. And this, I expect this to continue. I think Ethereum. Oh, that's gains. All right, let's see. Let's make this make sense. There we go. Inception. Ethereum was a much better store of value, wasn't it? Yeah, I don't know. looking at these correlation graphs has been interesting recently, though. It's been something I've been a little more interested in it. I don't have any good, I don't have any great working theories other than noticing time-based correlations and informing my trading based on that. I know people have talked a lot about things like their relationship between companies like Visa and MasterCard and how that informs trading, and I think that's fascinating, frankly. The thing about my trading is just I believe in time. I believe in letting time pass on trades, and when you frame these comparisons and actually notice what is going on during them, really interesting things happen. Let's put, so by the time Ethereum has completely spiked and come all the way down, this little rise here at the end, and it really, what it seems like it is this here, these two get us to break resistance, and then this fall is this rise. Incredible. It's really interesting. Sometimes this stuff is really interesting, and yeah, I mean, there's a lot of meaninglessness in it, and a lot of things come up nothing. But I mean, I'm just looking at dominance charts versus an altcoin. It's not that strange, even though it looks wild. The framing is something that I like to do in order to conceptualize the time periods and how they map together. Really, nothing that's special. Like I said, I just believe in time. I believe in letting time pass. So the final chart that I will look at here, and I don't have that much to say, other than I'm pretty sure where we were at was when we draw a dotted line. We're usually not sure, but we're leaning one way or the other on what's going to happen with it. I'm going to say that confirmed, and looks like what we're sitting 30% above. That's nice. And we've got 46% to the target. So, I'm probably just reconceptualizing this at this point and start to trail my stop loss up a little bit. And yeah, I mean, not bad. And I mean, there's a reason I don't want to do this. And that reason is, and I might consider tightening even a little more. Because the thing is if you do that, and you trade like that, especially if you believe in, what's going to happen, you can start to get even more sophisticated, where you end up playing for both cases. And I mean, yes, this is still, both of these are long-term bullish trades on basic attention token. But the difference between them is that, or the difference between this and just holding, is that here you're setting yourself up for sort of a rebuy success. And the importance of rebuying is something that I never really processed adequately until I saw this explosive returns of thinking around trading in Bitcoin versus trading from the dollar. And if you haven't if you haven't started to think a lot about BTC pairs, I'm going to encourage it. And there's probably a lot of great videos on YouTube that you could go watch to learn about trading BTC pairs. But uh, so this is a strategy that I learned from trading BTC pairs, or it's a stock strategy too. It's not that wild. But I mean, basically, I have my long-term bullish target. I've identified a short-range stop loss that I'm willing to get stopped out at. And, if this happens, I've got my new entry point identified. And and what happens is that this sort of managed pattern trading, and I don't need to draw a duck on here to call it managed pattern trading, mitigates a 17% loss. And mitigating that loss means that down here you're buying a lot more basic attention token. So, if I've got, let's just do the math of the $100 really quick, and we'll talk about the benefits of this strategy. So, I got $100, goes up 30% when we push through. I have $130. That $130 rides down 17%. $130. So now I have $107.09. Baby boomers think this investment's going great. They're like, you made $7? That's awesome. So from there, we complete this pattern. We go 86% positive. So math really quick there. Oh, hot damn. $200.67. That's good investments there, son. I can't believe the cryptocurrency pays off. So, but now let's look at the alternative. So, we get the 30% rise. We're at $130. Instead of the 17% drop, we take the 4% drop. And we re-enter at the new trade. And, instead of the $200.67, it's $232. And, I mean, the point is that, there's not much that's done here. And yeah, you might miss some gains, etc. And that's fine. I think if you're out there worried about missing specific gains, you shouldn't be using strategies like this anyways. And I mean, FOMOing gains is not the place to be to try to use sophisticated strategies. Don't FOMO gains, folks. Don't FOMO gains. But the point is over the aggregate, missing these, if you can manage to miss these drops more than you can miss the highs, more than you can miss the bullish momentums upward, you're going to do really well. Really well. Especially when you look at these coins and the drops are not 17%. And that's the thing about the crypto market, is that consistently, if you stick around long enough, you see these 55, 60% retracements. And, if you're able to, and this is the thing, like, yeah, you can't be perfect and avoid every dip, but if you're avoiding these dips and hitting some of the rises, and you're using that as a way to accumulate more of the token, in the long term, when it hits this 1600%, 1000% move upward, you're going to have a lot more base value of that token. And that's really what we're working with here, and that's what we're looking at. Basic attention token's an interesting one. Will it actually get adopted? Um, I mean, it's kind of adopted now, but as far as the long term, I don't know. Um, I do think it'll hit $2.15. If you don't think it'll hit $2.15, let me know why in the comments below. Of course, another day done, and we appreciate you for dropping by. We're glad to get this out a little bit earlier than normal. We're going to go for a walk, enjoy the nice weather. We hope you have a great day, and thanks for dropping by.